In this video, I am going to answer some very much important questions. But before that, to my dear viewers, it is my humble request to do watch this video till the end, because this video will change your thinking pattern and will give you a crystal clear perspective about how to strengthen your mind and body together. Why did Swami Vivekananda advise people to play football rather than read the Bhagavad Gita? Did he throw away the Gita and talk about playing football? Why did he advise to play football? Why not cricket or any other sport? Let us learn this very deeply. Swami Vivekananda said, "You will be nearer to heaven through football than through the study of the Gita." This quotation is a part of Vivekananda's book Lectures from Colombo to Almora. Swamiji's words goes like, "We speak of many things parrot-like, but never do them. Speaking and not doing has become a habit with us. What is the cause of that? Physical weakness. This sort of weak brain is not able to do anything. We must strengthen it. First of all, our young man must be strong. Religion will come afterwards. Be strong, my young friends. That is my advice to you. You will be nearer to heaven through football than through the study of the Gita." These are bold words, but I have to say them, for I love you. I know where the shoe pinches. I have gained a little experience. You will understand the Gita better with your biceps, your muscles a little stronger. You will understand the mighty genius and the mighty strength of Krishna better with a little of strong blood in you. You will understand the Upanishads better and the glory of the Atma when your body stands firm upon your feet and you feel yourselves as men. Thus we have to apply these to our needs. Now people must understand here that Swamiji is not asking anyone to throw away the Gita and just play football. All he is saying is both are necessary, but playing football yields better result than studying the Gita. He is saying that a healthy body is necessary for the fulfillment of the same Karma Yoga, which was also described by Lord Krishna in the Gita. Now let us look at why he said this. See, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna advised to Arjun to rise above the idea of personal loss or gain. Krishna, the yogi of the highest order, goes on to explain what yoga is. Krishna in his discourse highlights the importance of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga. In Karma Yoga, a Karma Yogi doesn't act out of his wants. He does what needs to be done in the world at the moment. His action stems from his all-inclusiveness and not from his limited identity of himself, his family, caste, creed, community, etc. In Bhakti Yoga, a Bhakti Yogi, while performing action in the world, isn't perverted with what the outcome of his action may be. He is conscious of the fact that the result of any action in the world not only depends on his endeavors but also depends on countless other external factors which are not under his control. Because he has complete control over his emotions, he has the ability to pay undivided attention to his action. Hence, does his best. In Jnana Yoga, a Jnana Yogi has clarity of perception. He has the ability to see through the dynamic nature of the world. Because of this ability, he can face new situations in life and go through those quite effortlessly. The problem is, unfortunately, people believe reading the Gita is enough. Vivekananda reminds us that mere accumulation of knowledge, however sacred, isn't enough to enhance one's life. Vivekananda points out that a footballer is more in yoga than one who is mugging up the Gita verse by verse. See, if we look at the routine around us, from using social media to watching television, web series, etc., from reading something to roaming around, often we live like a spectator. We are not really a part of anything. The books we are reading, we are not that character, nor are we the players while watching cricket on TV. Overall, we remain absent from field. Now let us understand how a footballer can be a yogi. See, a footballer on the football field is not playing for himself, but is carrying out the objectives of the team. Hence, in some sense, he is practicing Karma Yoga. A footballer is paying undivided focus on the ball and is playing according to best of his ability. Hence, in some sense, he is practicing Bhakti Yoga. A footballer is constantly honing his perception to be able to see through the dynamic nature of the game. Hence, in some sense, he is practicing Gyan Yoga. My dear brothers and sisters, playing football will develop an all-round strong body. In football, intense involvement and concentration is needed. This is a fact. You cannot keep your eyes off the ball for even a moment. By playing football, the concentration is developed. Intense concentration without any distraction is Nishkam Karma. This makes a man meditative and leads him to moksha. But why did Swamiji say it about football only? Why not cricket? This question may arise in your mind. See, at Swamiji's time, football was the most popular sport in Bengal. He was aware of the football culture of Bengal at that time. Bengalis were probably the biggest football fanatics in the world, and every colony had a passion to play this game. There is even a famous song in Bengali, Shop Khelar Shera Bangalir Tumi Football, meaning football is the best game for Bengalis. So obviously, being a Bengali, he also had a lot of love and passion for football. So in this context, Swamiji only took the name of football. And anyway, football was the only popular outdoor sport at that time. Otherwise, cricket and other sports were not so popular then. Now, the final piece of the puzzle is the word heaven used by Vivekananda. We must understand that Vivekananda, both when in India and when abroad, was speaking amidst people of Abrahamic faith. This is why, even though in Hindu way of life there is no hell or heaven but only liberation and rebirth, Vivekananda used the word heaven instead of liberation. Anyone who will come across this quote will initially be puzzled, but the insightful meaning behind this quote reaffirms why Sri Ramakrishna Paramhans rightly named Narendranath Datta as Vivekananda, the joy of perception. My dear brothers and sisters, I have put my heart and soul to make this video rich with knowledge given by Swamiji. I hope you will learn something from this inspirational video. Subscribe this channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.